Diablo Apox. Leap of Faith again by Anduin will Danslow, and Medivh's gonna be able to finish him off. 3 kills, a triple for PFM. And now Diablo being surrounded. Fade falling to 25% health. Condemn, and Diablo's down. That might be the actual play of the game. They find another kill.
Apocalypse coming out though. Red team. Oh my god! Red team almost got him.
Axon jumping over to get some kills.
Oh, Ragnarok getting the concussion mine, knocking him out into the fray. Oh, the definition of unlucky.
Flipping it, flopping it, hipping it, hopping it. What up? It is Thursday night, and of course, it's the NGS Game of the Week. I'm your host, Murda. I'm joined by the Wispy Green Abyss tonight. Unfortunately, Slexia not able to join me tonight. She has other casting obligations going on, so you're stuck with me, fam. I hope you don't really mind too much. Live coming at you, my last night here in my lovely condo that I'm moving out of tomorrow. So a lot going on in my house. A lot going on in this lobby as well, as we have Saltscale Mrgles and ReGen Phoenix ready to go here in a Week 6 matchup. Entering tonight, Saltscale Mrgles, 10-2 map record. Only topped by ReGen Phoenix here in Division B East with a record of 12-3. Definitely a high-flying matchup worthy of our Game of the Week honor. We're in our lobby. Our first map is going to be Battlefield of Eternity. But first, let me tell you how the bans went tonight. The coin toss being won by ReGen Phoenix. They opted for first pick on that first map. So our first ban went over to Saltscale Mrgles. They took away Towers of Doom and Sky Temple. ReGen Phoenix banned out Brax's Holdout and Cursed Hollow. So yeah, here we are. We're going into BOE, our first map of the night. Both teams eager to pick up this first map, knowing how strong their opponent is. They can't afford to be behind in this series. Coming back after losing that first game could be too much for either of these teams to have to handle tonight. So expect a lot of their strategies to show right out from the start here. I don't expect either team to be holding anything back, because if you're playing for the division, this is the match you have to win. If you're ReGen Phoenix, you got to beat Saltscale Mrgles, and if you're Saltscale Mrgles, you got to beat ReGen Phoenix. So tonight, it all breaks loose for these two squads. Who's going to go home the victor, and who's going to go home a little bit sad? Over in chat, I see Move37 said hi-yo, and then, of course, Miles in the house says, PogChamp Murda! What up, my dude? Thank you so much for stopping in tonight. Appreciate you following me over here to the NGS channel. I know you were watching me over on my channel earlier this week, so I definitely appreciate you spreading some love over to this side. And then one other thing of housekeeping. If you've been following along with the Game of the Week series, you know that we've been inching closer and closer and closer to that 1,000 follower mark. Well, tonight we enter at 997 followers here on this channel, so we need 3 of you out there. Show some love for NGS and get this over the hump. And let's get those 1,000 followers celebrated right here tonight. What do you say? If you have a finger and a mouse, go ahead and click that button. You see where it's at. I don't got to tell you. Reading through our chat here, looks like there was a slight delay on the side of ReGen Phoenix. But we might be ready to go. I think we're ready. Alright, I'm going to throw out one more R. Uno mas. See if they reply this time. I will say, you guys haven't seen it yet, but Portrait Synergy game on point. Maybe that's the secret recipe to winning games in NGS. You come in with the portraits all synced up. You got your whole squad looking fresh. ReGen Phoenix rocking the purple ReGen globe. And then on the other side, I can't tell exactly what this is. Huh. It's some sort of like Carbot thing, I think, but I don't know exactly which Carbot hero that is. Maybe it's just random Carbot guy. If you guys from Saltscale Mrgles are in the house and you want to type in chat what your portraits are, that'd be awesome. Looks like you guys ready. We're ready. You guys ready? Waiting to hear back from Saltscale, and we're going to be launching here into game number 1. There it is. All right. Starting up. Good luck's thrown out from both our captains, and it looks like we are underway. Oh, there it is. Yeah! Red team gonna ban first here in game number 1. ReGen Phoenix on the clock. Cog88 joining up in chat says, go RGP. All right. Let's see who's here cheering for Saltscale tonight. I want to get some good banter and back and forth for these two squads. Cog says, I'd cheer for freshwater Murlocs, but not those saltwater bastards. Oh no. Chromie the first ban by Arrow, and it appears to me somewhat of a target ban. Ariel, somewhat of a meta ban. So a bit different in what I would probably guess is the draft strategy here tonight, although Ariel can be played by pretty much any support player here in Division B East. She's just so darn good right now. That Resurrect, fantastic. But on the other side, that ban of Chromie, you don't see that too often. Let's be real. Chromie really not too much of a threat in most cases, unless if there's some reason to take it away. Perhaps ReGen Phoenix doing a little scouting tonight, realizing maybe there's a Chromie player on the other side that they don't want to deal with here on BOE. They also don't want to deal with this Greymane. He's taken away with the second ban for ReGen Phoenix, and a quick one there on Alarak from Saltscale Mrgles. So if you were tuned in on Tuesday, I actually did cast ReGen Phoenix up against Demonic Entity Within. That set ended up going to a game number 3, but it was ReGen Phoenix able to take the win there. They did play an Alarak in game number 2, but lost. That was... Oh, I didn't write the map down in my book. That's unfortunate. Was it Infernal Shrines, maybe? Maybe. It was either that or Dragonshire. I can't quite remember. But either way, with the Alarak ban, they take the Sylvanas first. Fantastic here on BOE if you could win that objective. And over on the other side, it's Blaze and Uther. A very, very sturdy front line here for Saltscale. The Uther potentially that main tank, leaving Blaze for the offlane. Of course, potentially. You don't know for sure until we see some more of these draft picks. But they give them a bit of that flexibility, knowing they get that top-tier meta support in the Uther. And they get a very formidable offlaner as well with the Blaze. It will be matched here with an Artanis for Mudge, and Repsychic on one of his favorite supports. It's Lucia. So, of course, Artanis, you guys know all too well here on Battlefield of Eternity, is his best map because of that level 1 talent amateur opponent. So we can assume Mudge can be going into that. But can we still assume that this solo lane matchup is going to be the Blaze versus the Artanis? Or does this give opportunity for Saltscale Mrgles to kind of change their mind a bit after we see ETC and Tyrande banned away by these two teams? We're going to be back over to Saltscale Mrgles with that decision of showing maybe another support, maybe another offlaner. Jaina and Brightwing. So they will pick up that second support. It's going to be the global support Brightwing, which will give a lot of opportunity to save some skin in the opposite side of the map. Phase Shift being one of my favorite abilities in the game, actually. I love playing this Brightwing. I didn't see the skin that was selected. I'm really hoping it's the Deathwing skin. Probably the coolest one that's come out in a long time. But we got 5 seconds now for the final 2 picks of ReGen Phoenix. Arrow and Darabo still yet to pick. So here's the tank. It'll be a new Barak. And Darabo playing a Lunara, which I believe was actually played the other day, if I'm not mistaken. Or was that... maybe it was against them. No, it was the other game that same day. I'm sorry. They did not play a Lunara, but this will be exciting to see how it works out for them. A new Barak and Lunara. My book is written down. That's great. Last pick, Phoenix. All right, so we got a good, fair bit of Protoss representation here in this game. So we got to go to you guys in chat now. It's about that time. Let's see. Manage poll. New poll. Who will win game 1? Saltscale Mrgles or ReGen Phoenix? All right, if you want to vote in the poll, go ahead and look at your chat box, and up at the top there should be a little drop down with a poll Select the team you think will win this game number 1, and I will reveal the results as they come in. It'll be about 3 minutes for that poll to take place. As you see us loading in, I want you guys to take quick notice of these portraits on both sides. Full synergy, and you love to see it. It's beautiful. They look really great. So I commend both of you captains and all of you players for participating in all the fun. It's fun for me too. Votes are flying in. We have 1 apiece so far. How will that change over the next couple minutes as this poll unfolds? We'll find out, as well as finding out how the game 1's going to happen. Loading in. Am I the one lagging here? Appears as though I'm the one who's not seeing any bars filling up. Hopefully it's not me being the slow one. There we go. No, it's not me, but we were close. All right, here we go. Game number 1. And over here on the left-hand side, playing in the blue trunks tonight, we got Blastum, the captain, on the Jaina, little gamey playing Blaze, Idioms on Uther, and up top, maybe a bit different than you expected. It looks like it's going to be Brightwing played by Marmara, and Synchrony playing the Phoenix. Ladies and gentlemen, they are the Saltscale Mrgles. And over on the right-hand side in red, we got Substitute playing in tonight, Repsychic on the Lucio, Arrow the captain on a Nubarak, Rabid Penguin playing the Sylvanas. We got Darabo on Lunara, and in the soul lane by himself will be Mudge playing the Artanis. Ladies and gentlemen, they are known as ReGen Phoenix. So we're watching a bit of that action, of course, Protoss versus Protoss with the Phoenix and the Artanis. A little bit of extra help here with the Brightwing nearby, but not really needed. That shielding from Phoenix means it really doesn't take damage until you get the shield down, which isn't always the easiest thing to do when you're a melee going up against a ranged. So it'll at least give opportunity here for Phoenix to play much more aggressive, knowing he's got that support. And Artanis, well, he just don't got it. Bottom lane, though, it is advantage time for ReGen Phoenix. You see them pushing in quite a bit here, already onto that wall, taking down 50% of that top side turret in this bottom lane fort wall. But Arrow falling down to about 75% health, taking a bit of poke here, presumably from the Jaina. We didn't see what exactly happened, but you could only guess. Now it looks like they're going to get an early camp, knowing that this lane is set up the way it is. They're going right onto the camp. Uther's going to check it out, but Arrow says, no, you're not coming this way. Here comes Blaze, though. Big jet propulsion going to stun off 2 heroes as Arrow's going to try to retreat back a little bit. Blaze thinking a little better of himself and maybe going to play this safer, knowing there's 4 heroes down here versus only the 3 from Saltscale Mrgles. Mudge up top, seeing that the camp is also being taken up there, so almost simultaneously on opposite sides of the map, both our teams have their first camp of the game. So the poll has closed and chat has voted. Winning 67% of the vote here in game number 1 will be Saltscale Mrgles. You guys think they're going to win this game number 1? And so far, it's pretty even. You really can't say in either direction. The camp's timed out perfectly on both sides of the map. You got Brightwing now rejoining the team here on the bottom side, or I guess not rejoining, but joining for the first time. And now the double support is really going to get to work with just a Lucio here in the bottom lane. Will it be enough to keep all these heroes topped off from ReGen Phoenix, or will the double support eventually just take over the day with having that much more sustain over their opponents? Speaking of sustain, Mudge having a bit of an issue sustaining up against this Phoenix. Looks like he's already used his well tap and already back down to 25% health. So Artana's going to have to play this safe, and big advantage for Phoenix, who still has one of those Khazra camp minions still whacking away at this top lane. Here comes Mudge, one more attempt out there with his dash, but it's not going to do nearly enough damage to finish off that Khazra. Phoenix still standing in strong as the final of those minions does go down. Artana's going to go back to base and get his health and mana as our Immortals will be spawned out in just about 5 seconds. There's a Bruiser camp mid put out by ReGen Phoenix, and down bottom, Saltscale Mrgles doing the same exact thing for the blue side. First to jump on the enemy Immortal appears to be ReGen Phoenix. Arrow holding a vent for now as 5 blue heroes are nearby. Here they come, Jet Propulsion hitting 2 on the backside. That's Sylvanas and Lucio trying to back up now as Blaze still in their face and inside his own fire, keeping himself sustained. Now taking a huge chunk from Darabo and going in even deeper. That's going to be first blood of the game, coming 3 minutes and 25 seconds in favor of ReGen Phoenix, which should give them opportunity to finish off this halftime, and they do. So it's a 9 1,000 hit point lead currently for ReGen Phoenix as we go into the second half of this first objective phase, bringing 2 supports to Battlefield of Eternity. Not always the easiest when you want to win these objectives. Just having the Phoenix and Jaina not necessarily good sieging heroes onto this Immortal. So you got to expect Saltscale Mrgles to be wanting to look for the team fights more often than looking for the objective. Here's a big play onto Idioms. He's in trouble a bit. Good blizzard from Jaina, going to slow down the push, but it doesn't matter because Artanis, enough with that amateur opponent pickup, uses that W to perfection, finding the kill on Uther, the second kill of the game, and a slight XP lead now for ReGen Phoenix as they're going to push in this top lane with this first Immortal. Sylvanas is also here. Black Arrow's on those towers, going to shut them down momentarily as Arrow going to walk forward with a few beetles as well, which will soak up even more of those shots coming out from this fort. Wall down, Immortal now going to press forward onto the fort. Here comes that Jet Propulsion again, stunning off 2. Arrow and Rabbit Penguin trying to keep their health as that blizzard is at their feet. Lucio doing a great job keeping these health bars topped off. As you can see, everyone feeling very healthy. Now another engagement from Arrow. They find Blaze yet again. He's popped his Pyromania, but he's slowed so much. Can ReGen Phoenix finish this one off? No, 250 health. Little Gamey will be able to survive, but the fort up top doesn't. And it looks like one of these towers might go down as well. It's very low, doesn't quite get finished off. As we see a quick rotation coming out from ReGen Phoenix. Is Uther going to be in trouble here? He might be. Mudge going to step on in as the minion wave soaking some of those tower shots. Sylvanas going to shut it down even further as the big burrow charge coming in, stunning off Uther, and the swap from Artanis. Still not enough to get the kill, but it will be enough to finish off the second fort of the game for ReGen Phoenix. They're starting to open this one up just a little bit. It's a half-level lead. It's 2-0 on the kill count. And it's time to get to these camps. Phoenix going to start down bottom. But it looks like Uther is going to scout this out. Coming in might be this entire team of Saltscale Mrgles, but they do not see the Anubarak as he's going to burrow charge over the wall. There is that blizzard at the feet of Arrow. He's taking a huge chunk of damage. Recycling trying to do what he can to keep him up, but the attack keeps on coming. Sylvanas going to be the first to fall. Polymorph there, enough to finish off Anubarak as well. It's a double kill for Saltscale Mrgles, evening up the score, taking a bit of an XP lead now. And outstanding work. I thought they also got that camp up top, but no, actually Mudge was the one able to take this one away from Phoenix. So a bit of a consolation prize for ReGen Phoenix in the top lane. As we see our second Immortal being announced, just 20 seconds away. We'll be full strength for both of our teams. But who's going to get the level 10 first? Phoenix has a bit of a wave here, but they still got to clear up some of these Camp Mercs that are still here. One of them still standing there. And there it goes. Our camp should be spawning soon. There's the one for Phoenix. And the one for Saltscale Mrgles is still 5 seconds away, so they're going to be late. It looks like Phoenix doesn't really care about the Bruiser camp. They want to get right on this objective, and you see them already whittling it down to 75% health. Still not a big response coming out from Saltscale Mrgles. Phoenix in that top lane. It's just a 4-man push in here. Led off by the Blaze, but a miss there on the Jet Propulsion. Going to reset the fight. ReGen Phoenix going to drop on back without their level 10s. They want to get this camp, which should give them enough time for the talents and a bit of help in the lane as well as they push past this halftime portion. Down on the bottom side, this Immortal is being worked on by Uther, but Lunara here harassing the rest of Saltscale Mrgles away. Now ReGen Phoenix back onto their point with just Uther in defense. They should be able to push halftime here, and they do. Camp was also picked up by Saltscale Mrgles. Going to push that bottom lane out just a bit, but the minion wave pretty far pushed back already on their side of the map, so it'll take a bit longer to start reaching any structures than what ReGen Phoenix has on the other side. Another Jet Propulsion miss there by Blaze. He's stuck in between a few, but he does effectively split up ReGen Phoenix as they're on 2 separate sides of this fight, and they're not able to get the supporting of Lucio. So now Recycling having to skate all the way around, gonna help get the first kill onto Jaina. That's a big one. Good barrier from Lucio, and not enough coming out from Phoenix with the Purification Salvo to pick up a kill. So ReGen Phoenix still alive, and Lucio still getting the full value of these area heals. Still pressing in now. Phoenix in trouble with no more warp. He's down. Uther now being slowed by Lunara. Idioms hits 1 stun, but if there's any more slows, I don't think he lives. The swap attempt, they don't find Uther, but they do find Brightwing. She's got Blink Heal. She'll be safe. Idiom's low again, but another Blink Heal from Marmora, keeping Uther alive. That was a lot of back and forth. Mudge gonna clear out the Mercs there as ReGen Phoenix looking at potentially getting down the first keep of the game. They still have this Sylvanas. She's already to work with those black arrows as the combustion coming in deep. Rabbit Penguin in trouble, has that haunting wave to get away and make a little bit of a separation between the heroes, but Lunara not the same fortune there. She'll fall first of the fight down as the cocoon came out, just hit the Phoenix, and that's really all ReGen Phoenix can expect to do here. They're going to get through this wall in the bottom lane, but losing to Lunara, potentially one of their strongest siegers here, having that Nature's Culling at level 4, and then going into Splintered Spear at 7. She has a lot of ability power to get through all these minions and really help push in firmly for their team, but with her down, it's not really going to be an option. A moment away from 13, though, for ReGen Phoenix, and there it is. We'll see what they're selecting here on their defensive tier. It's actually Acid Drenched Mandibles, a fun one for Anub'arak, and also Remorseless for Sylvanas. So a lot of extra damage picked up as Anub'arak and a burrow charge into the 5v5 fight. There's the barrier going to shut down this Purification Salvo. There's the D-Shield keeping Phoenix alive as that beam from above from Artanis was threatening to do a lot of damage. It's still out there. It's still getting some in as Blaze is very low, getting tossed around by Artanis. He'll fall. Rabbit Penguin finding one on the backside now. Jaina, the focus of Sylvanas, and she'll fall as well. Repsychic still in there, skating around like the DJ he is as ReGen Phoenix cleans it up and gets a mega kill, only losing Arrow in the fight. And now have opportunity to push down the first keeper of the game. It's going to be 8 seconds until Blaze is back on the map. There's those black arrows once again from Sylvanas with Mudge on that Artanis amateur opponent, and Darabo on that Lunara with Nature's Culling so fast to get through the structure, and it'll be down at the 10-minute and 40-second mark. Third Immortal phase coming very soon. What's to do on the map? There is a camp on the bottom side. Looks like Anub'arak might be going that way, but gonna need some help, so perhaps Artanis gonna come help. And then coming out of base, ReGen Phoenix still back there as Saltscale Mrgles approaching this bottom lane, potentially about to invade this camp. I don't know what's going to happen. I think they're going to invade this. Arrow's going to see it. He has it scouted. Leads off with the Impale. The rest of ReGen Phoenix is now here as the camp is being channeled. It is picked up. There's the Cocoon. Going to hit onto Blaze. Repsychic still trying to heal on this backside. Idiom's low. Here comes the phase shift in onto Uther. But Jaina will end up being the first to fall. Here's the barrier once again countering that Purification Salvo. D-Shield has to come out again. It's a self-cast onto Uther, but Idiom's now being surrounded and Phoenix being swapped around. Synchrony's got to use that warp. Arrow can't chase him down, but they still see Blaze, they still see Brightwing, and they want more blood. Here's the swap. Little Gamey in between ReGen Phoenix. He'll be down. Second keep could fall here, and it's 30 seconds without Blaze. Do they go for the core, or do they take the Surefire with the objective? Looks like they're opting for the objective. Not quite enough time in their comfort to go for the core in that situation. They want to play it a bit safer and just go with what's been working here in this game. Winning these objectives, they have the much better racing team with the Artanis and the Lunara up against the Phoenix and the Jaina. It's just a lot easier for them to get this done. And already pushing the halftime, they got to feel pretty comfortable. Full strength though, Blaze just respawning. Here comes Little Gamey. But do they have enough time to get here? It's a long walk to the opposite side of the map. It's an unfortunate spot as it's in a safe position for ReGen Phoenix, but they're going to slow down just a bit. Not quite sure where everyone's at. Knowing they have these catapults pressuring the core, they really don't have to play aggressive. They just got to wait until they see someone either on the enemy Immortal or someone in lane clearing them out. That's when they can make their move and finish this thing off. It's a veteran call here by the Captain Arrow. And that'll also buy time to let that Water Elemental die down. It's gone now. And they should have information that that Immortal's being hit a little bit, so they're going to step on in and finish this thing off. There's a Cocoon. It's on Blaze once again. Skating forward now as Repsychic finds the boop onto Uther. But they're all going to turn around and just look at the Blaze. Silence comes out from Sylvanas, and there's nowhere he can go. 14th kill of the game for ReGen Phoenix as they're going to try to close it out here on Battlefield of Eternity. This is their third straight Immortal. And this one's pushing up against 0 keeps. All the structures are down. And they still have a talent tier lead, 17th of 14. It's a 3-level lead for ReGen Phoenix. Immortal has entered the base, about to walk up to the core. A very healthy shield and an almost impossible mountain to climb here for Saltscale Mrgles. Shielding already off that core, 90%, make it 80% and 70, falling fast. Still the shield on this Immortal as the core reaches 20%, 10%. GG. Game number 1 going to be handed over to ReGen Phoenix. All right, ladies and gents, let's take a look at this match summary brought to you by Nexus Gaming Series. What a game. Outstanding efforts on both sides, but maybe a bit more sustenance coming out. Having that Sylvana, she picks up 11 kills here in game number 1. Outstanding healing as well from Repsychic, making that substitute role today come true. A former NGS Division C champion, grand champion at that. Love to see him playing. Playing the Lucio did pretty well, 59k healing as we take a look at our talent screen before we move on to game number 2. Quite the game, quite the set. The Cocoon worked for a new Barak, got plenty of value, comboed off with that Wailing Arrow from Sylvanas on the end there to get that kill on Blaze a few times. The barrier really was the clutchest moment of the game. Repsychic a few times, countering off that Purification salvo. Well done. ReGen Phoenix will take that game number 1 as we move into our first break of the evening. I'll be back in about 3 minutes with game number 2 here between Saltscale Mrgles and ReGen Phoenix. And welcome back here for game number 2. We're waiting without a lobby yet. Should be soon. I'm expecting these captains to be on top of this. I was trusting them to run the lobby creations tonight, so hopefully they're on point. We're going to hang tight and be patient young grasshoppers for these guys. Is that us? No, that's not us. There's another lobby being opened. Hopefully we get this one underway soon. I got a lot going on tonight. Gotta start packing some more boxes. I got a truck that's going to be here in the morning to start moving some of my stuff out. Well, I'm going to be moving. It's not like I have a moving crew coming or anything. So, long day ahead of me tomorrow. Trying to get to bed early tonight, if I'm lucky. I'm not always lucky with that. What's going on now? Do I got to reach out? Lobby up yet? Question mark? It's been good, like 4 or 5 minutes maybe. So their number 5 quit on them and they want to off roster sub. Huh? Quit? So I was talking with them during the coin toss, and Blastem had revealed that there was one player on their team that was having a lot of lag issues before the game had started. Had mentioned it. Appears as though they were able to play there in game number 1, but were they having lag issues during that game number 1? We can't quite be sure. We never did see anyone drop out of the lobby. There was never a pause that happened. So I can only assume that they were okay with the playing conditions that were currently going on in that game. If there's an issue now, maybe the lag was too much. It looks like they might be trying to find a new 5th player to take their spot in off-roster sub. I don't know what the situation is right now. So we're going to hang tight. I don't have any action for you in this current moment. We're going to hold. We're going to give them the 15-minute time period to try to find another player to play if possible, and then we'll be back for game number 2. If I hear anything before then, I will come back sooner, but I'm going to put up a 10-minute timer, and then we'll figure it out from there, guys. All right, and just as I promised, the moment I got information about this game starting, we're going to be right back to it. So we do finally have our 10 players here. We are going to Volskaya Foundry, and we will be starting momentarily. I'm just waiting to get the final readies from our captains. We're going to be heading on into Volskaya. I believe, who selected this? This is the map selection of Saltscale Mrgles. So first a draft here is going to be ReGen Phoenix. And it looks like we are launching on in, so let's get this one underway. Wow, Volskaya. Division B East, Week 6 matchup between the Saltscale Mrgles and ReGen Phoenix is about to kick off with game number 2 after a slight delay there. ReGen Phoenix will be the first to pick and ban here, and they're going to start it off with the Kael'thas. Seen the Mrgles be pretty quick with their bans so far tonight. In game 1, they took away the Ariel and the Alarak, as well as the ETC in the second half of the ban phases. Do they stick with those, or do they change it up here? Looks like they're sticking with the Alarak at least. He'll be taken away as the first ban from the Saltscale Mrgles. During the break, I don't know how I didn't mention this. I typed in chat to say thank you. But what a gift donation from Rackham LFG. How many total was that? Was that 10 subs? Does it tell me here? Yeah, 10 tier 1 subs gifted by Rackham. What a guy. And then to follow that up, Mudge dropping the 100 bits and says to NGS and all that they do to keep HOTS going. We appreciate you. I know you appreciate us, but we appreciate you. This league doesn't exist without the players either. Don't forget that. Continue being patrons of this league and good stewards of sportsmanship. We commend both of you for your contributions, and I'm really excited to see this game number 2 take off here. Mudge, of course, playing here for ReGen Phoenix tonight, making that donation. So if you guys are in chat and pleased that he's supporting NGS, then let him know in chat. Say thanks, and you go, guy. Do well in this game. Sylvanas, the first hero pick, just as we saw in game number 1. It was so strong, and once again, it's going to be Rabid Penguin hopping on the hero and going to give them opportunity to push in with these objectives. This one being a little bit different, not an Immortal, but it is a Triglav Protector. We will see the Blaze first picked once again, although this time picked up by the substitute who's joining us, Chopper. We are yet to see a Hanzo play tonight, but similar to the Chromie, is able to throw out damage from a deep distance. And here on Volskaya Foundry, when you're throwing those shots into the control points, it's like shooting fish in a barrel at times. So Hanzo should have a decent opportunity to get a lot of value with those scatter arrows. We do see the Sonya and Stukov selected by ReGen Phoenix, as it appears Repsychic has been subbed out of this matchup. Arya taking over the reins once again. As the main player, the main support here for ReGen Phoenix, I guess was unable to attend that first game, but here in time for game number 2, and hopping on one of her favorite healers, that's Stukov. Final ban for Saltscale is going to be the ETC once again, making all 3 of their bans exactly the same as game number 1. Here's the final ban now for ReGen Phoenix. They took away that Tyrande in game number 1 in this slot. Will they remain with that same ban, or do they change it up a little bit? Looks like they will change it. This time it'll be a Malthael ban. All right. Leoric. Anduin. The Anduin, I did see some scouting numbers, and it looked as though Anduin was played frequently by Saltscale Mrgles. Good win percentage with the hero. He's a strong support here in this current meta. Maybe taking a bit of a step back recently, but he's still so good because he has that leap of faith, which is able to save any hero who's too stupid to be safe on their own, making Anduin one of those clutch healers that's able to pretty much get anyone out of any situation. Once again, we're going to see the Anubarak, and there's Greymane for Darabo. Final selection with just about 10 seconds left on the clock for them to make it. Saltscale Mrgles have that one support. They played a double support in game 1. I'm not expecting the same here, but that Uther is still available if they want to go into it. I'd much rather see some other form of damage, and they're going to go back to the Jaina, which did pretty well in game number 1 with that Water Elemental, expecting a little bit of the same. Would it be maybe Ring of Frost in this one? Does it change at all having the Dragon's Arrow from Hanzo or the Entomb from Leoric to help kind of set up that Ring of Frost? We'll find out here as we load on in. But I got to go to chat. I got to ask you guys once again, who do you think is going to win game number 2? So let me create my poll. Who will win game 2? Saltscale Mrgles or ReGen? I can't type. Phoenix. And the poll should be open. Take a look at the top of your chat bars. Hit that little drop down. Select the team you want. And make sure you hit vote. If you don't hit the vote button, it won't actually submit your vote. You can see the game right through my green glasses. Yeah, I have a green screen and green glasses, so that happens. Can I get like this orb here? Oh no, my head gets cut off. Oh well, that was kind of fun to try. All right, here we go. Loading on into game number 2. And over on the left-hand side in blue, we got the Captain Blastum playing that Janitor Leoric. Over in the middle lane, we see Synchrony on Hanzo. Idiom's playing Jaina. Chopper on Blaze. And Marmora on the Anduin. Ladies and gentlemen, they're not just Mrgles. They're the Saltscale Mrgles. And over on the right-hand side, game 1 winners, we got the Captain Arya making her debut in this matchup after missing game number 1 playing the Stukov. Sylvanas once again played by Rabid Penguin as Darabo hops onto the Greymane. Arrow remains on his Anubarak. And in the mid lane right now, going to be playing the solo lane, it's Mudge on the Sonya. Make some noise for ReGen Phoenix. Bottom lane, here's where they're going first with the Sylvanas. It's right onto these towers as we zoom on out and take a look at our level 1 talents. One of those towers is already going to be down as Blastum the Captain not able to do too much against this push with the Sylvanas and the Anubarak, 2 heroes that are able to push onto forts very easily. The Beetles from Anubarak, the Black Arrows from Sylvanas. As ReGen Phoenix going to make the rotation up from that bottom lane, already having that 1 tower advantage. Sylvanas going to be in the top, able to get the XP here as Stukov going to be joining her. And in the bottom lane, here is Sonya joining Anubarak, where I'd assume this is going to, excuse me, end up being the solo lane. Yeah, it looks like Mudge is going to remain here by his lonesome. Anubarak's going to make the rotation up to his team as a few heroes hanging out at mid right now. The Impale's not going to hit anyone. Hit a few of those minions, though, as Arrow able to take that globe and retreat back to the wall. Well, Anubarak should be safe there, and see what else is going on here. Both teams looking at these camps. I think I got them both up on the screen right now for you. Greymane and Stukov on one side. On the other side, it's Anduin and Jaina. First picked up by ReGen Phoenix, and over on this left-hand side, looks like no invade coming out, so a safe clear opportunity here as Idiom's starting to fall very low on mana. Likely going to go back to base after this pickup. And there it goes, but that extra time that was used on getting that camp created all this extra space for ReGen Phoenix to pick up the support camp. Only Hanzo was able to see what was going on with the help of that Sonic Arrow, but without any help from his team, really couldn't walk in there to do anything. Arya taking a big chunk that time. Was that the Scatter Arrow? What's going on here? It's target practice picked up by Hanzo, so just pretty good damage. Pretty good damage. Can't complain. The poll is just now ending on my side, and it is deadlocked here. 50% going out to each side. As the Burrow Charge comes over the wall, the big collapse onto Hanzo. That'll be first blood. Arrow coming out of nowhere, surprising that Shimada. But down bottom, it's Sonya, maybe a little bit too far away from her wall. She's going to fall as well. One apiece now between these two squads. As Sylvanas and Anubarak are in this top lane. Opportunity to push onto a wall. Here comes the rotation from Blaze and Jaina. Anduin not too far behind as Hanzo just now coming back from base. Jet Propulsion can get interrupted by that Burrow Charge as the disengage appears to be clean from ReGen Phoenix, taking down another one of those towers, making that their second of the game. I don't think, are any down on the other side? Doesn't appear so. So a 2-tower lead so far for ReGen Phoenix as Control Point A will be active in just 3 seconds. Our camps are still about a minute away, so it won't be an opportunity for either team to get an extra turret heading into this. First on the point will be Stukov. Will they stay here? They will. So channel time starting for ReGen Phoenix as both teams trying to seek those level 7 talents. Mudge down bottom for ReGen Phoenix. And the gray main up top played by Darabo. Going to give plenty of room here for Saltscale Mrgles to just step on control point A. And start channeling for the blue side. You see it starting to go up. 17 was the total on the red side, but already quickly approaching that same mark are the Saltscale Mrgles. Sonya going to walk on. Is this enough to interrupt the channel? It is. Both teams now at level 7, but they got to still pick their talents. Gray main waiting for his. A Nubrak as well. Still no talent selection. We will see the chitinous plating. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. It's one of those weird words you never would ever say on your own, but if you read it, you'd be like, how do I say this? Yeah, chitinous. Impale going to connect onto Blaze. Mudge also there, but a bit timid so far, waiting to see what direction Saltscale Mrgles want to move, and it's forward with that Blaze and that jet propulsion. Good Blizzard connecting on a few heroes as Arrow drops that biotic emitter. Not enough to keep him alive. Big boy damage coming out from the Mrgles as they're locking onto Sonya. She's able to spin away, but not before they're able to kill off the Stukov. It's a double kill, make it a triple. Sorry, I didn't chase it because I thought she was getting out. But it's a triple kill for the Saltscale Mrgles, finding that on the Sonya at the end and the Stukov right before it. And now they're able to channel control point A all the way up to about 50% and invade this enemy fortification camp. Walking towards this direction is going to be a Nubrak, but just a little bit too late. Stukov and Sonya now returning from base as well, as Saltscale Mrgles have opened up a big 1-level lead here, well on their way to level 10. And well on their way to their first objective of the game. Turret drop. There's a spear from Sonya trying to get in on Blaze. Now going to set their focus onto one of these turrets. The last one remaining in the arsenal for Saltscale Mrgles. Arrow once again stuck inside one of these blizzards, having to back all the way out. Now Mudge all by himself having to spin, but no interrupt there, so he gets pretty good value on it. Now Arrow stepping back in, very low on health. Rabbit Penguin backside did find the Leo, but pays with his own life. They do get the Blaze as well, but Arrow about to fall as well, I'd imagine. Here comes Jaina, but Mudge able to pick up the kill on her. It ends up being a 3-for-1 in favor of ReGen Phoenix. Leo's about to respawn, but is it too late? Looks like it will be. They back up off the point, and ReGen Phoenix will be able to collect the first protector of the game. Sonya and Stukov hopping in first. Now it's time to see what kind of value they can get. Level 10's very close here for the Saltscale Mrgles. We're going to keep this talent screen open for just a bit longer. And Phoenix should have it shortly as well. There it is, just off that one minion wave. A Nubrak split out down bottom. This is maybe a smart play as he's going to get some value onto this wall. Maybe can get this turret down. No one nearby except the Blaze rotating through from mid, but he's going to be a little bit longer until he shows up. So this top lane push without a real tank. I mean, it's just the Leo here. Rabbit Penguin now stuck inside the Entomb, but uses that Haunting Wave to get out, but stays too close. Looks like Leo's got him. Yeah, ends up being a double kill. Sylvanas and Greymane both down. The Protector having to retreat without getting full value. And down bottom, let's look at this. Arrow may be in a bit of trouble up against the Blaze. He's trying to finish off this tower. Should have a burrow charge out, as some of these rotations are starting. Protector finish, and now Stukov in a very precarious spot. He's got to be careful here. There's the Wrath of Berserker popped. Hanzo in trouble, has that natural agility over the wall. Synchrony is going to be fine. Mudge backing up now, back to Stukov. And Blaze might be coming on the flank, a deep flank in the bush, now walking right up to them. Oh, I thought he was going to rip it, but didn't have the damage behind him. So maybe a smart backup there by Chopper, who's making a substitute appearance here in this matchup after not playing in game number 1, having to deal with this Mudge Sonya. And taking a big chunk of damage down to 50%. Arrow as well. He uses that cocoon onto Hanzo very low as Blaze gets killed by that go for the throat. Hanzo will be able to survive, but ends up being the 5th kill of the game for ReGen Phoenix, and now set their focus onto the support camp. And I don't think the Mrgles want to come in, but they will throw a Blizzard down. Not enough to zone away Arrow as he grabs that biotic emitter for the 2nd time in this game. There's other camps available, including 2 fortification camps on the bottom side of the map. And here comes ReGen Phoenix invading the enemy side before they have level 13. They want to try to get what they can, and with all 5 heroes nearby, they'll do just that. Here comes Leo. Burrow charge going to miss from Arrow that time, so Leo will be safe and back into that bottom lane soaking position, but it's going to have to deal with Mudge on the Sonya and Darabo on the Grey Main. Blastem now going to step on in, checking out the fortification camp, but he's going to find Arrow in a bush. No one's on the camp yet, but both teams know that this is the contention point. Phoenix not willing to take the fight, though. They knew they're slightly behind on the XP. Didn't want to risk the chance of those 13s being picked up in the fight. They've already suffered a big defeat in this map. Not looking to face any more as Jaina, the one who's forward. Arrow's going to burrow charge in, and here they come. Leap of faith. Going to keep Idioms alive. As there was also a good stun that came out. I believe the Chastise from Anduin. So 2 plays from Armor right there. Able to keep his team alive and really flex why Anduin, quite a strong support and able to save almost any hero in any situation. Top lane, Siege Camp will be pushing in, working on that well, and now the well is down. Advantage for ReGen Phoenix during control point B, which should be announced pretty soon. Just now reaching 13 is ReGen Phoenix, and yeah, thought it was going to be soon. There it is right there, 25 seconds until control point B is ready to go. I don't think these camps will be up. A minute 25 and 58 seconds, so they won't be ready. Support camp either. There's the Cocoon on Blaze. He'll be in the silence, but no one from ReGen Phoenix willing to actually take that fight. They back on out. Cocoon down for another 60 seconds as Wailing Arrow still 30 seconds away. Wrath the Berserker pop bottom lane. Mudge is pushing in. I was just looking at heroic cooldowns and noticed this was going on. Looks like the full split. They're giving up the objective. ReGen Phoenix working on this bottom lane fort, and they're going to get the value. Up top is Greymane playing defense up against the rest of Saltscale Mrgles. No one is yet on control point B, as ReGen Phoenix is going to continue pushing in this bottom lane. Will the hearts start coming out? Here it comes from Jaina. Here it comes from Blaze. Anduin still staying on the point as Hanzo also going to head back to base. Does Anduin do the same? Leo's back as well, but I think Phoenix just gets his wall and they back out once they see some heroes coming. Here they are. Do they stay? Looks like they will. Dragon Arrow to lead it off. The Blizzard's going to miss, but the Ring of Frost does as well. I don't think it hit anyone. Jaina's going to fall, and Tomb is down. Reducing the health of that Royal Focus is Leoric, but can Phoenix get out of here? I don't think they do. I think the slows provided by Blastem might be enough. There's the bunker. Much in trouble. Going to try to spin, but with everyone inside, they're not able to get it done. Oh, Greymane picked up the kill on Anduin up top. And now Hanzo in the Cocoon. He's going to be stunned by the Impale and killed as well. 4 heroes down for the Saltscale Mrgles. And ReGen Phoenix might be able to end it all right here. We're just 11 minutes in, but Wrath of the Berserker is still active for Sonya. Does she want to go for this? Jaina spawns in 5, and it looks like they're having different thoughts. They got the key. Big advantage already. They don't want to blow it, so they're just going to back on out, steal a fortification camp as Greymane waiting on the point. Only had to deal with that Anduin and appears to have picked up the solo kill. We completely missed it. So apologies for that. Now Phoenix in the lead on the race to 100%. Just picked up the enemy fortification camp. They're about to skate past the support camp as well. They're going to stop on off and pick this thing up, knowing they have a bit of time until they need to take any sort of fight. 16's achieved for both sides as Arrow's going to have to get this biotic emitter. He does grab it. Greymane's still on the point, thinking about backing up now as Blaze shows up with some of those oil slicks. Here comes Mudge. Pops the Wrath of Berserker again. Royal Focus going to slow down Darabo and Arya on the backside as a Dragon Arrow. Hits Stukov. Now she's inside the Entomb, but just blasts him there. He's going to get shoved away. There's a fight going on the other side as well. Rapid Penguin and Mudge trying to finish off 3 heroes of Saltscale Mrgles. They still don't find anyone. As Blaze is inside that Cocoon, he pops right inside the bunker when he gets out. He'll survive, but there's a Trickle Protector for ReGen Phoenix hopping inside his Rapid Penguin. He also throws out that biotic emitter. 4 heroes still alive here for Saltscale Mrgles, but without their front line, how do they defend against this? Protector's gonna push in, charge in on the Leo as well. And I don't think this fort's gonna stand for too much longer, but do they stay here or do they push towards the mid lane, get out that outer fort? I don't know. 2 keeps or 2 forts? Looks like they want 2 forts. Still a wall up here in the lane, so Darabo going to have to help out there on the Greymane, push the minion wave up. And the Protector itself also going to help with that laser and some of that minigun damage onto these turrets. So that'll open up this lane. This is the last remaining outer structure for the Saltscale Mrgles, and the moment you start losing all these outer wells, it makes all the team fights around the objectives that much harder. Fort down. Will they get the well as well? Yes, they will. 30 seconds left on the Protector, and they're already thinking about backing up, getting enough value, and not willing to lose anything here. But here comes Leoric. Gonna get Power Glove back is Blaze. Will there be a quick Entomb here? Impale might slow that down. And the Cocoon as well. They just don't want to deal with the Entomb there. So they burn a few abilities, including one of their heroics. Everyone ends up being safe. And where does the business go from here? Sonya wants to get a fortification camp at mid lane, our 4 heroes. And they're going to rotate in here. Mudge actually smart enough to back on out. Not sure where the enemies were going to be coming. And now seeing that they're on this camp, once again, it looks like Phoenix willing to give it up. Instead going on to their own siege camp. As the bottom lane, a couple catapults approaching the core of Saltscale Mrgles. Synchrony going to be sent back to clear that up. Now Darabo checking out the other side siege camp. Doesn't see much, but they do find a Blaze throwing some oil into that vent. It does get scouted properly. Arrow now nearby. Don't think he wants to go in, but was looking at it. Phoenix just going to play this slow. They have a half-level lead towards level 20. And control point C could be all they need to win this game. So on the other side, they have all their structures still standing. Rabid Penguin can get down some of these outer walls, which of course still provide a bit of vision when your enemy heroes are walking past it. And can also help the other team kind of corral you in when you're trying to disengage from a deep fight on their side of the map. There's going to be a fight over the support camp. Neither team at level 20. Chopper going to start it up, but they don't quite know Arrow's in this bush yet. He hasn't been scouted out. And without knowing a Nubrax there, he's just going to burrow charge in with the Cocoon. Maybe just a little late, but he does get the biotic emitter as the rest of the team turning their focus onto Anduin and Jaina. The double kills in. Leo's very low, able to use that Wraithwalk out, but chased down now by the haunting wave of Sylvanas. It's a triple kill for ReGen Phoenix. Do they go bottom lane and end, or do they want another keep? Looks like another keep. No, it's a sidewall and right through to the core. Wrath of the Berserker not currently popped. 30 seconds, so it'll be a little bit slower for Mudge, but they also have this Greymane, one of the strongest siegers in the game. Blaze in his bunker right next to this core, but Phoenix not worrying anything about these guys. Arya just going to shove him away. Doesn't end up going too far. 80% on the core. There's a jet propulsion on 2. Silence now coming out as Darabo falling low. Needs some supporting this Greymane. You need the Greymane to survive if you want to win this. 20% now, 10%, 5%, and GG. The domination is complete for ReGen Phoenix over the number 2 team, Saltscale Mrgles. All right, and welcome to the match summary brought to you by Nexus Gaming Series. It's 13-8, the final kill count. 16 minutes for ReGen Phoenix to finally get that fight at the end if they needed to win it. Really great work coming out from Mudge. 41k hero damage out of the solo lane. Darabo picking up 7 kills in this one. And still outstanding work coming out from the Sylvanas play tonight. Let's take a look at the talent screen before we move on to our interview portion. I know who I want to talk to. I hope I don't get yelled at by some of the other team members, but I'm going to do it anyway, because it'll be the most fun. Hello?
Oh, hello.
I wasn't going to call you in here, but you're already sitting here. You know who I wanted to talk to.
You know what? He's not. Is he still? Hold on a second.
Get this boy in here.
Yeah.
Get this boy. Oh, yeah! What up, Recycling?
Hello, Diane.
Oh my gosh. All right. Maybe the most fun guy in NGS. Sorry, Arrow.
Nah, I don't mind.
So tonight, a very tough opponent. We called it the NGS Game of the Week for a reason. This is number 1 versus number 2 in Division B East. Talk me through this match, and how do you feel at the end of it? Is it enough of a win that you feel pretty confident here in Division B East?
Yes. There was a lot of time, a lot of energy that went into scouting this match, as you can imagine. Really want to get as much information about a strong opponent like Saltscale as you possibly can. I think I spent a good, 6 hours of time going through just about everything. So pretty much played out today, like drafts and everything, maps and all that, about how I thought it would
Yeah,
go.
so speaking about that preparation you brought into this matchup, we saw the ban on Chromie twice tonight. Scouting ban, or what's the deal there? I'm assuming scouting ban.
Yeah, Blastum plays a pretty high tier Chromie. Like if you go look, his win rate is like 70% in Storm League, and if you watch some of the games that they played, like they played against Tiny Dancers a few days ago, and that Chromie was like the #1 reason that they were so strong in some of those team fights. So it was like, you know what, Chromie's a menace. We don't really want to deal with that, so let's just take her off the board.
Quickly, just want to say in chat, a fishy had followed earlier. That was number 998, and just now Sturge PV with the follow, making him number 999. Who will be number 1,000? We need one more of you to hit that follow button here on twitch.tv/Nexus Gaming Series. So game 1, BOE, and you guys go in with a very strong race comp, the Lunara with the Nature's Culling, the Artanis with the Amateur Opponent. Seemed as though your opponents didn't quite have that same sort of heavy damage. What were your thoughts about that draft in game 1?
You know, again, a lot of it we kind of expected. We did get a little bit of a curveball because both teams played with, you know, one player that they hadn't played with. We had our curveball, which I do want to shout out. Red said we had a secret weapon, and that secret weapon was none other than Mr. Psychic. So, you know, we wanted to make sure that we could build a comp that worked really well with Psychic's areas of specialty, and I think it worked out really well.
There's the Lucio tonight. It looked good. I actually do want to commend you, Rek. I wanted to pull you in because numerous times during that game number 1, the barrier comes out to perfection to counter off the damage from the purification salvo. Planned, like, by chance? Like, what's the deal, Rek? Are you that good now?
The idea is to get it out sooner rather than later. You want to prevent that burst damage earlier. You know, you take it as like this. At the beginning of a team fight, what does everyone have? All their cooldowns, most likely. So why not block everything that's coming at me now rather than, hey, we're half health, let's just block these autos, you know? So
Yeah.
yes, no, that was completely planned, yes.
It's like psychological dominance as well, I'd imagine, because your team feels safer when their health bars are higher.
Absolutely, that's another thing too. I think there was one fight on the top camp, I think, and I ripped it as soon as we went in, or just about, and I think we wound up living. Most of us did, as a result, and we could just stay there. It allowed us to simply stay there and continue the fight.
Well done. Yeah, go ahead, Arrow.
A lot of planning went into, you know, when we kind of set up the idea of bringing Rek in, a lot of planning went into not just drafts, but also, you know, what strengths can we make use of? And, you know, Lucio was kind of all about the Lucio, because Psychic is basically, he's like a fish in water on Lucio. It's all reflexive on this guy.
Yeah, it was a pretty aggressive play. We were unfortunate not to be able to see you play in game 2, but of course the captain of ReGen Phoenix, Arya, back from, assuming she just couldn't make the game 1, but played really well on the Stukov there in game 2. You guys switch it up just a little bit. You still stick with the Sylvanas, you stick with the Anubarak, but you're able to find a Greymane, and I think Greymane really finding the most value there in game 2. What are your thoughts on how that one went?
We originally weren't planning to take Greymane, but as I started looking over, you know, my notes and the scouting and everything, I was like, you know what, Idioms is left. They've played a lot of Greymane. Idioms has played it sometimes, and somebody else played it some. I think it was Synchrony. So I was like, you know, Greymane would suck. I really don't want to deal with a Greymane coming into an Anubarak. Let's just take him. I mean, it's going to provide value to our comp, and it did. You know, he played really well. I really like Derry on the Greymane. I like Penguin on the Greymane. You know, we've got a lot of flexibility there.
What else do I have? I think that's it. I mean, you took the early keep. It was a smart play using the Sylvanas during the starting of Control Point B. You guys kind of snuck it to the bottom lane, found that quick fort. They still didn't respond. You push all the way towards the keep. And by the end of that play, you end up getting the keep down. And Greymane picks up the solo kill up top on Anduin. So it's just a huge swing. How does that momentum feel in the moment? And did you realize that that was probably the beginning of the end in favor of you guys?
So, that thread had started at the very beginning of the game when we took that first tower down. They didn't respond, basically at all. Well, like we almost just stuck around for a little bit longer. And then, seeing that I had used Cocoon, so that cooldown was out, and recognizing that, hey, they're all top. Let's just go bot. Let's push this. And then, they started to back after we continued to go, but they couldn't get everybody. So it made it, just a free. I don't want to say a free option, but certainly an option for us to consider. And we just kept going and figured, when they get here, we'll back out. But Derry did a great job of making sure that Anduin couldn't leave, missed that hearth. And that set us up to be able to get those additional kills and then ultimately get the keep. So, it was very calm, very rational. We're calling out the timing. We're calling out our cooldowns. We're calling out the next camp that we want to go get. Where are we going to invade that fortification camp, get the heal camp and all that stuff. Honestly, the only thing, and it's this map specific, I think more so than any others, but, when you're ahead, we were ahead a full level 18 to 19, and it was very difficult to sit there and say, there's literally nothing we can do right now. Like, we just have to pull back and just hang out, and they're slowly catching up, and then the support camp came up, and it's like, well, do we really want them to have 3 items? And, they didn't check the bush, and that was the real beginning of the end.
Well, ends up being the domination tonight, 2-0. Who is left in Division B East that you're maybe thinking about that matchup as the one that might take you down? Because currently ReGen Phoenix undefeated here in Season 8. Who can stop you from here?
The other teams that are out there that we have yet to play are the 6 through 8 and 12. We played Jailbait last season. We split that 2-1. I think, if I remember correctly, we won the series. It was at the end of the season. So I expect to, put a lot of effort into that one as well. Tiny Dancers is a team that we're, fairly familiar with as well. And that's, those are the 2 teams that I'm mostly looking out for. But I tell you, I'm not going to sleep on Bread Rising or Chaos because, any one of these teams can put up a good showing.
Absolutely. All right, guys, we'll end of the road here for the NGS Game of the Week. But, of course, before I let you go, I got to give you time for some shout-outs. So either one of you, I'm sure Recyclic, you hate giving shout-outs, right?
Oh, no, I don't mind giving shout-outs.
All right, well, go. I dare you.
All right, I'll finish. Thanks. Shout out you, of course, Murda, #1 for casting and for all you do with the ReGen family. All my boys watching from back home, of course, and all you lovely Dianes out there, all of you. That's it.
Well, let me finish that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I want to shout out ReGen Phoenix, of course. The team has been fantastic. I do want to specifically shout out Red, as she actually was available. She was here, but this was a planned event to have Recyclic come in, and we wanted to not only to make use of a little bit of of variation in our team comp, but also to bring my good friend and former DivC Grand Champion from ReGen Red at the time into the mix and get him some playtime. So shout out to Red for letting us do that.
Rec, you will see I did mention that during the broadcast.
Oh, excellent. Okay. Yes, I was Arrow's boss. Now Arrow's my boss.
Oh, baby. Wait, I'm both your bosses, though.
But yeah, that's true.
Middle management. That's
Just kidding. All right, huge congrats to you guys. You played really well tonight. That was a very, very tough, formidable opponent in the Saltscale Mrgles. You guys...
I do want one more shout out.
Yeah, sure,
and
absolutely.
It's actually to Saltscale. I want to say, they are a fantastic opponent and a team, and I'm glad that they were able to get their full, squad in for that second game. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to catching them later in the playoffs.
Absolutely. I think 100% that team will be in the playoffs. I would not be surprised if it's in the number 2 slot. I think from here you guys have a really good shot at locking in the number 1, of course being undefeated, but there's still games to be played, still some opponents out there, and you know, I'll just be able to wish you guys best of luck moving forward through the rest of Season 8.
Thanks, Marty. You're the best.
All right, guys.
So long.
Well, end of the road here for our Thursday night matchup, this NGS game of the week. It's ReGen Phoenix taking the 2-0 over the Saltscale Mrgles. If you want to follow me, my Twitter is listed below at Mrgles. I'm going to try to delay this as long as I can because we still need one more follower to reach 1,000. And I'll be damned if it happens off stream. So please, if you're out there and you are yet to follow, hit the darn follow button and get us to this number 1,000. Can I show the follower number? I don't know. Let's see. Oh, it's probably going to be too hard for me to try to show you guys, but you can just believe me. The number is at 999 currently. So it takes one more of you to go make an account and hit follow. Anyway, over on Twitter, at Mrgles, and my Twitch page, the same here on Twitch, twitch.tv/Mrgles. Where else can you find me? On Discord, of course. I'm in the NGS Discord. You can find me. I'm a board member for NGS. Been a part of this community since Season 2. Technically, like, heard about it during Season 1, but, like, I had missed all the fun and just kind of tuned in a bit for the finals that were going on. Been here since Season 2. Don't expect to get rid of me anytime soon. I love this damn game too much. I love you guys even more. It's been a lot of fun bringing you the NGS Game of the Week this evening. No one's hitting the follow button yet. I'm stalling as long as I can. But it looks like we might have to wait until next time. Wait! We did it! We did it! 1,000 followers here on twitch.tv/Nexus Gaming Series. Hats off to all of you out there. I guess including myself, I follow this channel. I should cheer for myself too. But anyone who's out there, a follower, accomplishment complete. We made it to 4 digits. And now I can go to sleep and feel good about myself like we accomplished something today. So way to go, team. Until next time, maybe next Thursday. We're not quite sure yet, but keep an eye on the NGS Discord. We'll be back with another game of the week next week. But that's it for now. Thank you so much for showing up. Thank you so much, Mudge, for that final follow. And that's going to be it for tonight. Until next time, I'm Murda. This has been the wispy green abyss next to me. And we'll see you guys in the Nexus. Here's Diablo Apox. Leap of Faith again by Anduin Vildanslo, and Medivh's gonna be able to finish him off. 3 kills, a triple for BFM. And now Diablo being surrounded. Fate falling to 25% health, Condemn, and Diablo's down. That might be the actual play of the game. They find another kill.
Apocalypse coming out though. Red team. Oh my god! Red team almost got him.
Axon jumping over to get some kills.
Oh, Ragnarok getting the concussion mine, knocking him out into the fray. Oh, the definition of unlucky.